Hello and welcome to supernaturalspirit.org, home of the Tim Tony Stark System for Unified Magic. Today we're going to talk about witches and witchery, which is fantastic because witchcraft is very mainstream, and as the Sun from Tuesday, September the 10th, 2019 is going to show us where they've done a 2-page spread on witchcraft and witches, which is brilliant. So today I'm going to read that to you. So you've been seeing witchcraft in movies, all the Harry Potter movies, and Maleficent with Angelina Jolie. So witchcraft you see in films all the time, and you hear people talk about it, you hear people talking about doing bits of magic. Oh, what's all that all about? But in fact, witchcraft is huge, and there are millions and millions of witches around the world, as indeed there are millions and millions of warlocks and wizards, depending upon how you function. But I'm going to get into this because this is dedicated to this group here, which is in the Sun on page. Just find it. Oh, these fine ladies here. Okay, here's the article called The Witches of EASTCHURCH. Brilliant play on words from the Witches of Eastwick. And these are these fine ladies from a coven that we're going to be discussing. And this article is on page 1617. And the reporter is Georgette Culley. So well done to her for getting this into the Sun. And as you'll see, so here we go. A coven of crackling witches pump their broomsticks in the air as they dance around the flickering bonfire on a beach. They whistle. The whistling wind blows on shore as they cast a spell and pour potions onto the blaze. Flames explode, and grey smoke floats up as the sky suddenly darkens. It may sound like a spooky scene from Halloween or the 80s hit film The Witches of Eastwick, but this ritual is not out of the ordinary on Kent's Isle of Sheppey. We are the Witches of EASTCHURCH, proclaims and booms head witch Charlotte Clark as she waves a vessel of burning sage in my face. This is cleansing all the negative energy around you, she says. As the fumes creep into my lungs, I choke and gasp for air. The Wicked Witch of the East is now holding hands with the rest of the coven, who have slid into a semicircle around the bonfire. Dog walkers stop and stare. It's familiar, huh? Dog walkers stop and stare as their pets growl at the spectacle. Grab a broomstick and join us, shouts Charlotte. Being a witch has never been so popular. Very true indeed. She's not wrong. There has been a surge in people taking up magic. The hashtag Witches of Instagram has more than 3,280,000 posts, and even celebrities are jumping on the bandwagon. Or should that be broomstick? Nice one. Just yesterday, we were told how actress Helena Bonham Carter had contacted the late Princess Margaret through a medium to win permission to play her in TV's The Crown. And last week, Amanda Holden joked she was a witch who can communicate with her Britain's Got Talent pal Alicia Dixon's unborn baby. Charlotte, 55, a mother of 5 and a barmaid by day, has seen a huge rise in people joining her coven. The Lady of Light and coming to her for spells and readings. She now has 40 witches in her circle, 25 of whom live in EASTCHURCH, a village on the island. She says, every week we meet up and cast spells, do readings, and carry out seances. If there's a full moon, we go to the beach with our broomsticks and perform rituals. Well, exactly what you should be doing, so well done. We also go there. We also go to the pub together. After all, we like being around spirits. Yeah, me too. Around 15 people a week contact me for spells and another 10 for readings. Around 90% of people who get in touch want spells for affairs of the heart generally to make someone fall in love with them or win someone back. Other people use magic to make them rich, get their dream job, or their dream home. She discovered she could hear spirits when she was a child and honed in on her powers by reading books such as Moonspell Magic and A Witch's Bible. These taught her rituals for romance and spells for money, love, and positive energy. Yeah, excellent, excellent. Charlotte, a medium, has been practicing witchcraft for more than 30 years. And Charlotte charges £30 for a half-hour reading and £50 for an hour. She has even worked with the late TV medium Colin Fry and Most Haunted and Sixth Sense fame. She uses crystals, pendulums, and tarot cards with her psychic skills for reading, but also relies on her guides, ghosts, who speak to her. She says every witch has her own book of shadows, all the spells they've learned over the years. I'm always adding to it. It's my guide. Yeah, a book of shadows. Absolutely sensible. But Charlotte doesn't charge for spells, as she simply tells someone how to perform the spell they need. I like that. She says recently a woman asked for a spell to make her lover leave his wife. I obliged, but told her, be careful what you wish for. Yeah, that is definitely a mentor of magic. One time, I put a spell on myself, and it totally backfired. I wanted a man to fall in love with me, but I ended up with a stalker. Love spells are the most popular, but I always warn people to approach with caution. Another time, I had two women coming to me who were unwittingly seeing the same man. Ooh, it was very naughty. I knew he was two-timing them, but it wasn't my place to say. Both wanted spells to make him fall in love with them, as he had been distant. And a man came to me for a potion to make his penis bigger. I told him, there's only so much magic can do. For that, you need to see a specialist. Yeah, well, it's energy dependent. With that, Charlotte tosses her broomstick in the back seat of her Mini Cooper, which is what Madonna drove in one of her early videos, and gets behind the wheel, checking her witch's hat is in place before she takes off. She is taking me to the beach where 7 of her circle are waiting to perform a ritual. As we drive, locals laugh and shout, "Oh yeah!" at her with a laugh. Charlotte says, "I'm well known in the village," and it's brilliant. Magic makes you popular. As she whips around the winding country roads, other drivers at junctions wave her through. First, even though it's not her right of way. They're scared of me, she says. On the beach, the waiting coven are preening the broomsticks and swapping spells. A passing woman shouts, "I used to be a witch too before I started my HRT for menopause." The witches, whose age ranges between 17 and 74, cackle back and invite her to join them. Among the group are stay-at-home mum Laura Wilkinson, 43, and her daughter Pagan, 17. Laura's a good witch in general, but has dabbled in dark magic when women go after her man. Yes, I love it. When women go after her man. One woman kept flirting with my hubby, she says, stifling giggles. So I plucked a hair from her brush and wrapped it around a homemade voodoo doll. I stuck a few pins in her leg, and a few days later, she tripped over, hurting her ankle. She's in our freezer, actually, the doll, not the woman. Remember, Katy Perry cut locks off of Taylor Swift's hair way back when they were early singers. So, it's an active, activity. Shivers run down my spine, and I tie my hair back, careful not to leave any straight strands around. Love it. Nearby, Joanne Lee, a 45-year-old and mother of 6, says, I have been practicing witchcraft for 2 years. My boss, who is a manager at a care home, and care home I work for, is in my coven too. That's how I got my job. My family think I'm bonkers and that it's all mumbo jumbo. I don't cast bad spells, as it will come back to you sevenfold. But believe me, I've never thought about it. So never say never. No, believe me, I haven't thought about it, so never say never. Exactly, got that. One time I was doing a Ouija board and called up a bad spirit, which would not leave the board, so I threw it on the barbecue. That was the wrong thing to do. Yeah, as fire releases the energy. Yep. Joanne had to perform a ritual with sage and holy water. Retired civil servant Maggie Edslands, 74, got into witchcraft through next door neighbor D. Baron Griffin, 56, who owns a taxi firm. Maggie said, my hubby used to call us a pair of witches, so it made sense to become one. Absolutely. While most of the villagers we encountered today seem amused by the coven, Charlotte explains they get a lot of abuse too. She says, I've been called a nutter, which doesn't bother me, as I'm a bit mad. But I do get upset if people accuse me of ripping people off or preying on someone's weakness or tragedy in their lives. Yeah, I concur. Some people will always have that opinion, which I know, but I know I'm a good witch. Charlotte suddenly goes silent, puts her hand to her head, and begins to nod. Cheers, thank you, she says, apparently to herself. Who are you talking to? I ask, a bit freaked out. Oh, I'm just talking to my spiritual guide, she says. He often comes through to me and gives me information on people. Turning to me, she adds, he reckons you'll be married soon. Excited, I ask for a spell to make my boyfriend propose. Get a red candle and a piece of paper and write his name on it, says Charlotte. Then write, I'm your forever love, and you'll know you can't live without me. You want me from the bottom of your heart, and you want me to be your bride. Blessed be. Excellent. Then roll it up and set it on fire with the paper. Make sure the paper burns to ashes, then bury the remains in the garden. Great, I say with a smile, jotting it down. And is there a spell to make him do the washing up? Yeah, that would be useful. Yeah, it's called a dishwasher, she says with a chuckle. That night, I try out the love spell as I bury the ashes. My nosy neighbor's curtains twitches. A few days later, my boyfriend and I pop into Poundland. He disappears in search of a tea towel and returns beaming. Look, they're selling engagement rings for £1, he says, laughing, thrusting one in my face. Will you make an honest man out of me? Oh, that's great. What did Charlotte say? Be careful what you wish for. So that's a really nice article in the Sun about the Witches of EASTCHURCH. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed sharing it with you, and I hope their coven, I wish their coven many happy returns and long continuation. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
And you've been watching SupernaturalSpirit.org, the home of the Supernatural Spirit Magic Kit and the location to learn everything you need to know about magic, all constructed by the obsessionist Tim Tony Stark Rifat. Learn magic, learn power, learn total freedom with Tim Tony Stark Rifat and his Supernatural.org Magic School Assistant. Bye for now.